Hi, welcome to my persuasive speech. Here's my one-sided note cards and my student ID. Without further ado, let's begin. Imagine a life in Florida without the vibrance and biodiversity that our oceans give us. Today, I will explain to you why it is essential for Florida laws and FWC officers to keep the snook season closed indefinitely. The impacts snook have in Florida are numerous and range from boosting tourism and the economy, as well as playing a vital role in maintaining healthy marine habitat. If the season were to be open due to negligent legislation, snook populations would be depleted and tourism would be greatly hurt. Ultimately, the implications that would be synonymous with reporting the season prematurely would cause huge detriment to the Florida marine ecosystems. However, if we focus on the environment, protect one of Florida's most important economic assets, and enact proper laws based on scientific studies, then we will be able to preserve the snook species properly. If politicians as well as citizens and voters refuse or simply choose not to pay attention to the environment and wildlife, companies and pollution will kill millions of animals. In the same fashion, if snook season is reopened now, the populations will be depleted. Over the previous 4 years, Florida's west coast has been plagued with issues such as red tide, algal blooms, and nasty chemicals and pesticides such as phosphates running into the marine ecosystems. For a vast majority of the population, and even for Floridians, few know of the true environmental issues that our state's wildlife face. Specifically, the common snook population was written off and ignored for years as the population slowly dwindled. One scientific study found that in Tampa Bay, between 2009 and 2007, tagged snook reported back to the same location to breed, with populations peaking between June and July. During these months, Florida's coastline is highly susceptible to red tide. Due to the breeding season and red tide chronologically coinciding, large numbers of snook can be rapidly depleted along the west coast, which is why we must pay attention to the marine environment. Florida's beauty rivals almost anywhere in the world. From our pristine beaches, fantastic diving, and even better fishing, we are known for our vibrant and diverse marine life. People from all over the world travel to Florida to experience it, which fosters one of the most productive tourism industries in the world. One specific industry that attracts infinite amounts of tourists is commercial fishing. Florida is the pinnacle of fishing, known for a surplus of fresh and saltwater game fish. One of the most sought-after fish that people look to catch is the common snook, which brings in millions of dollars alone. In order to catch a snook or any other fish in the state of Florida, people must purchase a fishing license. According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, there were $37.1 million in total saltwater license sales, $11.5 billion generated in the economy, and approximately 100,000 jobs supported between 2018 and 2019. This exemplifies how important snook as well as other game fish are for Florida's economy and how important snook and other marine life are to us. It is clear how important our marine habitats and especially game fish such as snook are essential for our beloved state of Florida. However, if Florida lawmakers do not work with the scientific community to enact laws to protect these resources and keep snook season closed, we may lose one of our state's defining characteristics. When science is ignored, our wildlife pays the price. One perfect example is the current and ongoing pandemic at Tampa Bay's very own Piney Point. Due to negligence and lack of sound environmental laws, a nasty chemical called phosphogypsum was leaked into the water, killing and displacing thousands of snook. According to the Tampa Bay Waterkeeper, a nonprofit organization dedicated to protecting Florida's marine habitat, phosphogypsum is the radioactive waste from processing phosphate ore into phosphoric acid, which is predominantly used in fertilizer. In addition to pesticides and other pollutants making their way into Tampa Bay, thousands of snook and other marine wildlife are also suffering due to a lack of science in the capital. On both the east and west coast, red tide, blue algae, and other cyanobacteria have killed millions of snook, redfish, and other inshore species of fish. From 2015 to present day, large amounts of contaminated water flowed from Lake Okeechobee out to the east and west coast, as well as south through the Everglades and into the Florida Keys, all of which host abundant snook and other marine wildlife. Unfortunately, massive unnatural discharges from Lake Okeechobee moved to the Caloosahatchee River in 2018, which led to polluted fresh water entering the coast, resulting in one of the deadliest fish kills in history, dwindling populations of endangered lists. At present day, the population of snook is still nowhere near as high as it was prior to 2015, which is why it is imperative that snook season stay indefinitely closed. If Florida policymakers base their decisions on sound scientific evidence presented to them, with hope, Florida's snook population can be restored to healthy numbers. If we keep ignoring facts and science, we will unfortunately lose one of the most important saltwater species Florida has to offer. As you see, our state representatives have simply failed us in the past. They have allowed snook and other marine populations to be damaged and diminished beyond repair. They have sat idly by, ignoring science and facts, while large corporations pollute our lakes and oceans. They have derailed the very state they are here to protect and preserve. It is essential that we as citizens and voters express our concerns and voice our support for the academic community who takes the time to study Florida snook and other marine populations. We must urge Florida lawmakers to keep snook season closed until the research depicts much healthier populations, or we may live in a state where one of our most defining fish disappears. Thank you.
Yeah.